Hi, friends. This is Dr. Arpita Gupta Dipalma, and you're listening to my podcast, From Pissed Off to Poised. This show is for busy women physicians and professionals just like you who are ready to take control of their emotions while learning how to excel in juggling all the things they are responsible for in life. It's for overextended mamas who are trying to figure out how to work smarter, not harder. It's for multitasking women who are tired of playing the role of the angry and resentful air traffic controller, who simply want to learn how to create a life that is more calm, intentional, and joyful for themselves. My goal is to help you learn how to eliminate the overwhelm and maintain your composure in high-stress situations that you face with the demands in your day-to-day life. Because I get you guys, this was totally me. You are not alone. I invite you to embark on your journey of transformation with me. Enjoy the listen. Hi guys, welcome back to From Pissed Off to Poised. Today is the last episode pertaining to anger specifically, and I'm going to keep touching on it when I move on to the next chapter with time management. But for today, I want to close the anger portion by really talking about listening to our intuition and how we can show up with forgiveness for our own sake. We talk a lot about coming from the heart and listening to the heart in all the previous episodes. And I don't want that to be a hindrance for you if you feel like you're not quite getting this showing up from the heart or listening with your heart, because it's not going to be a magic fix overnight for the anger or the frustration. It's a more subtle, slow change as you start to adopt these feelings that are much more peaceful, much more full of ease. And that sense of ease and contentment and peace really become the incentive to keep on doing this work. When you tap into your inner knowing and start using these tools, you're going to start to slowly notice a shift. You're going to start to notice that you're able to do things that you might not have been able to do before. Or maybe you'll notice that you're able to do them much more consistently. So when we start to come from a place of compassion from the heart and choose that over the anger that always was our normal go-to pathway, it might feel a little odd at first. It feels a little vulnerable. It feels a little bit just awkward. And that's okay. That's normal. It's supposed to feel a little bit weird. And with time, what you'll start to notice is that it still feels better than anger. And the anger is what starts to feel awkward and out of place. And coming from the heart and having that peace and contentment and ease is much more preferable. So as you've worked with the tools that we've explored together, I want you to think about if you've noticed feeling that sense of peace creeping in, like an inner quiet that slowly is filling your space where maybe the turmoil or the storm used to be. Do you have a harmony within yourself that brings a sense of security, maybe even the feelings of love? And in that calmness, can you start to hear your intuition speak up? Can you hear solutions and notice solutions to problems that might have once kept you up at night, right? As Glennon Doyle reminds us in Untamed, there's a part of us that already knows all of the answers. It's our inner knowing. We just have to be quiet enough to hear it. And the way we become quiet is to settle all the noise, settle the glitter. I've said it before. Let everything kind of fall by the wayside and drop into yourself so that you can hear, you can listen and hear what that inner knowing is saying. I know we've talked about how anger can feel satisfying in the moment. It's like a quick hit of control, of power, whatever it feels for you. But just like any other high with any other drug, there's always a crash that follows. That's that emotional exhaustion, that depletion that comes afterwards where you feel simply drained. So if we keep going back to the anger, we risk becoming numb to how much energy it drains from us. And we all have this tendency to focus on things that have become habitual for us because we think it's easier in the moment because we've done it. It's automatic. All right. But studies show that the more you practice something, the more brain power you devote to it, the more it grows. And so when you focus on anger, the anger grows. This is why I've said so often throughout this podcast that if you can instead focus on contentment, on joy, on peace, on love, on all of the other emotions that bring positive feelings into your body, that's what grows too. And that's what we want. So, I'm going to give you some final tips today to redirect you towards those positives, the things that I tend to do to keep myself in the right space. I highly encourage that you guys consider adopting some of these, if not all of them, gradually as you progress on your journey. So, number one, start your day with your first morning thought log. And this is every morning when you wake up, I want you to open your eyes and be aware. Notice the first thought that comes into your head and write it down, journal it. And if you notice that you have untrue thoughts or negative thoughts or thoughts that don't serve you, this is where you get to shift and make a change. So, in that moment, when you've noticed in the morning when you wake up that thought, I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to do the attitude breathing that we talked about for just a minute. Connect with your heart and breathe in that love and appreciation and breathe it out then to the world with your exhale. Okay, you're breathing in love and appreciation for yourself, and you're breathing out love and appreciation to everything in your world. Number two, I want you to use your heart tools throughout the day. So when you feel those emotional ups and downs, I want you to try grabbing one of the tools that we've talked about through the entire episode and through the entire show, whether it's your anger protocol, you're going to neutral, the attitude breathing, freeze frame, intuitive listening, all the different tools there are, whatever works for you, I want you to use it. I want you to trust your inner wisdom. That's that inner knowing that Glennon Doyle talks about again, okay? It is real. It is so real. So I want you to allow yourself the space and time to just be present with it, to listen to it, and trust that your heart knows where your desires are and what is bringing you purpose, joy, contentment, whatever it is. It's there and wanting to guide you. So listen to it. Number four, I want you to let go of that perfectionism. Using these tools that we've talked about over these past episodes is important, but what's most important is not worrying about doing it perfectly. It's about understanding how your anger shows up for you and then making sincere efforts to build the awareness around it, to notice it, and then to make some shifts, even when it's hard. And it's not going to be perfect. We are going to have situations that set us off. And I choose to look at those as opportunities for further growth. So consider that for yourself. Number five, make peace with what is. I want you to practice accepting the things that you can't change and creatively working with the things that you can. I think I was just saying to a client today, if you can't change something, why worry about it? And if you can change something, why worry about it? Because worry pretends to be necessary. So notice if you feel a strong sense of worry or entitlement that things have to be a certain way in order for me to be content. Notice where you are fighting what the universe is offering to you. And instead, can you adopt a way of believing that everything is happening for you? You might just not see the gift yet. Number six, finding neutral. Remember, when we talk about staying neutral or going to neutral, it doesn't mean that we are condoning something. It doesn't mean that we're 100% in agreement with it. It's simply making peace with what has happened or what's transpired so you can let go of that past, of that turmoil, and just free yourself from its grip on you so that you can just live a little bit more at peace. I also want to talk about forgiveness here today because it's important for me. And what I realize is that a lot of times with the anger, there is an underlying sense of resentment and there is an underlying sense of not wanting to forgive because I just felt like I didn't do anything wrong, or maybe I was right. But what I didn't realize is that the lack of forgiveness was only impacting me in a negative way. It was only ultimately hurting me. So I realized that we forgive for our own damn sake, right? That's why we do it. Forgiveness, I know, is often easier said than done, and it can feel almost impossible when you're holding on to pain or injury or hurt. But consider this. When you hold on to anger, it's like drinking the poison and expecting the other person to suffer. You are the one that feels it. Your body is the one that has the ramifications of it. You are the one suffering. Forgiveness isn't about them. It is about you. When you hold on to a grudge, it holds you back. It's not holding them back, it's holding you back. Your anger does not punish the other person. It just drains you, your energy, your time. You are the one that's stuck in those emotions. I remember when I was newly married, or I guess whatever, young in the marriage, where I would just be angry at my husband. And I would sit there and I would stew and I would be just kind of, a little bit pissy and angry about things, just not being approachable. And in my mind, I remember thinking, oh, this will teach him. He'll get to see how I'm angry and he'll get to feel it too. And I would actually get more and more angry as I saw my husband just popping along his day, doing whatever, completely oblivious to me being in the state I was in. Because it just goes to show that when we feel anger, we are the only ones who experience it. Most people are oblivious to what we are feeling. So this is where you get to decide how you want to show up for your own sake. And for me, this is where the forgiveness comes in. So when you're ready, when you want peace more than you want revenge or the anguish, you can choose to forgive. And the best part is you don't even have to tell them that you're doing it. You don't have to make it public. Sometimes you can just forgive them quietly in your heart. And it's just for your sake, as I've said. When you choose to change your thoughts, you're choosing to stay in control. You're choosing to opt into peace. And that's the most important thing. I also want to talk about forgiveness for yourself, because this is where we need to give ourselves grace along the way. You've made the amazing choice to make changes for your own sake, to show up in a different way. And we are always getting better when we practice the tools that we've talked about, but we're not going to be perfect. And so this is where forgiveness is important for ourselves so that we can stay calm, collected, and grounded. All right. We don't want to spiral into the self-defeating thoughts and behaviors about why I'm not doing things perfectly. So this is where you get to choose that forgiveness for yourself so that you can stay empowered, nurturing your peace and managing how you want to show up. All right, so moving forward, we're going to focus on another way to protect and nurture our peace, and that's with managing time. Time is one of your most precious resources, and it's how you can spend your energy. It shapes where you put your focus, and ultimately, it determines your sense of fulfillment. So in the next chapter, I'm going to dive into practical time management strategies designed to help you reclaim control, reduce that overwhelm that you're feeling, and make more space for what you feel truly matters for you. So we're going to shift from being reactive to proactive as we explore how to master your minutes so that you can live each day with intention and purpose. So that's what I'm diving into next week. We're going to start the time management series, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the anger portion. Again, for me, the anger, a lot of times was activated by my sense of urgency that I didn't have enough time to get things done. And that's why I'm combining this podcast with both of the strategies, both of the courses that I offer that I'm giving as value now, just so that you can listen and hopefully learn and take away some important takeaways for yourself to make a change. All right, guys, we'll see you next week as we start the Thursday timeout process. Take care. Bye. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of From Pissed Off to Poised. Remember, transformation is a journey, not a destination. So enjoy the ride. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review From Pissed Off to Poised on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback supports my mission to get this podcast out to help other women physicians and professionals like you on their path to creating a more peaceful life with more intention and more joy. I enjoy reading every message I get with your input and feedback on my journey, so keep them coming. And if you have a friend who might enjoy the listen, please share this episode and share with them. Lastly, if you want to learn more about my coaching programs and course offerings, check out my website at www.thoughtworkmd.com. Feel free to reach out to me to learn more about investing in yourself through one-to-one coaching so you can start living the life you've always wanted. This show is for general educational and entertainment purposes only. Life coaching is not a substitute for therapy or medical treatment.